When we were children, there were many games that helped us fill our free time and have fun. We truly enjoyed ourselves in many different ways. We even pretended to perform surgery on a person, becoming little doctors whose task was to operate on a man. Said like this, it sounds very strange, but for us it was completely normal to immerse ourselves in that role. By now, you've probably already understood what I'm talking about. Yes, I'm talking about the Operation game, a game that was part of so many of our childhoods. I loved playing it because it gave me a rush of adrenaline, the kind that comes from not wanting to make a mistake. You had to be extremely careful, trying to remove each bone or organ as precisely as possible. Honestly, I've decided enough is enough. I want to do a deep dive into this game because seriously, who the heck am I operating on? I mean, I am a doctor here, but I don't even know the name of the person I'm operating on. That is not okay. So, I want to help you become amazing doctors too. So we're going now to do a deep dive into this game. Who created it? Who is this man? Why does he have a butterfly in his stomach? Why does he have a horse in his thigh? We really need to find out. Operation is a battery-operated game of physical skill that tests players' and eye coordination and fine motor skills. The game's prototype was invented in 1964 by John Spinello. He was a University of Illinois industrial design student, and guess what? He decided to sell these rights to a renowned toy designer, Marvin Glass, for $500 and the promise of a job upon graduation, which was not fulfilled. Initially produced by Milton Bradley in 1965, Operation is currently produced by Hasbro with an estimated franchise worth $40 million. I kinda feel so sorry for John. The game is a variant of the old-fashioned electrified wire loop game, popular at fairs. But when was his brilliant idea conceived? So, our guy was visiting an amusement park when he became completely fascinated by a game called Wire Loop. The game consisted of guiding a metal ring along a path where an electrified wire was present. The goal was to reach the end of the course without letting the ring touch the wire. If you failed, a sound would go off. And it was in this precise moment that the light bulb lit up over our dear John's head. So, what did he decide to do? He decided to create his own version of the game, building a prototype, a metal box and a small metal wand used to complete the course. Our friend John decided to present this prototype to Marvin Glass, an influential toy designer, who bought all the rights to the project for just $500 and a promise of a job once Spinello had completed his university studies. The rights to the game were later sold to the American board game company Milton Bradley, which came up with the brilliant idea of framing the game as a surgical operation, thus justifying the use of tweezers. And so, in 1965, just 1 year after our dear friend's idea, Milton Bradley produced the very first version of the game. Of course, the promised job offer never came, and John never earned a penny from his brilliant idea. This fact didn't come to light until 2014, when the creator, needing for money for, you guessed it, an important surgical operation, asked fans of the game to donate via crowdfunding to reach $25,000, the amount he needed for the procedure. Through a video, he told his whole story and even offered to sell autographed copies of the game and auction off the original prototype. Thanks to the love and support of the game's fans, the goal was reached and the surgery was successful. Today, the Operation game has earned over $40 million in total, Honestly, I feel really sorry for this man. His idea was brilliant, but sadly, he never realized the full potential of his own invention. But now let's get serious, okay? Who is this man? Do you know his name? Well, his name is Cavity Sam. On the patient's body, there are a series of holes through which you can remove bones and other plastic objects that represent various diseases. For example, there are butterfly in the stomach, which we all know is a real condition, represented of course by a butterfly. Honestly, I didn't really know how to play this game as a kid apparently. I only discovered it today because basically the way I played it, and I think the way most kids played it, was very simple. We just had to remove the object from this man's body. That was it. Try not to, make it buzz. And I tried to do this as many times I wanted, okay? But that's wrong, because the real rules of the game are actually like this. There are cards. On one side, there's an amount of money, like $400. You pick a card, flip it over, and it says, for example, spare ribs. You have to try to remove that object. If it buzzes even once, your turn is over and it passes to the next player. If the next person makes our poor guy buzz again, it passes to the following player. Only the person who successfully removes the object without making this man's nose buzz wins the money on the card, and in the end, the player who earns the most money wins. Who knew this game actually worked like this? My sister and I would just try to remove everything, taking all the time in the world, trying over and over until we finally managed to remove it and save this poor man until the operation was a success. How simple was that? Right? I don't even remember there being money cards. Anyways, if this version of events doesn't match with your memory, it's because you probably had a different version of the game. There was another version that included doctor cards and specialist cards. Doctor cards tell you which part of Cavity Sam's body you need to remove and how much money you earn if you succeed. Specialist cards give certain players a second chance to perform specific operations and earn double the money if they succeed. And at the end, the player who earned the most money wins. But who cares about all these rules, right? I surely didn't back then. What I cared about was simply having fun, operating on this poor man. I just wanted to remove his Adam's apple, literally an apple in his throat, or his broken heart, or the water on the knee, or his brain freeze, taking that damn ice cream cone right out of his brain. I wasn't thinking about earning money. I only cared about his well-being. Of course, as I mentioned before, there are different versions of this game. For example, in 2004, there was a Shrek version, and in 2005, a Simpson version, where poor Homer Simpson had to be operated on. Then there was a Spider-Man version in 2006, a Hulk version in 2008, and even an Iron Man version. We also have our beloved SpongeBob needing surgery, a Toy Story version, a Cars version, even versions of the Trolls and Finding Dory. Honestly, there are so many. The Shrek version is the one that makes me laugh the most. I don't know why, it's just so silly. His face makes me laugh. I don't know, it is just too silly. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you in the next one.